Hello and welcome to Firstpost. The last year was a transformational one for Syria, with a decades-old civil war ending and the rebels finally managing to capture power in Damascus. But what does the future look for this country? We're trying to discuss that right now. And joining me is Hind, who was one of the 7 organizers of last month's national conference in Syria, and she's also the former deputy head of the Syrian Negotiation Commission. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you very much for hosting me.
Yeah, let's talk about that conference first. How do you think it went, considering it's not been a long time since the military offensive of last year?
Yeah. First, thank you for hosting me in beautiful Delhi. And of course, just want to tell everybody that I was born in India, so India for me is something very special. What's happened in Syria for the last 14 years, Bashar al-Assad left the country, ruined, bankrupt. People are tired from war. There is 1 million people dead, and there is destructions. So what happened last month in the Syrian National Dialogue, it's the best we can have. We get 900 Syrian people, women and men, from different religions, from different backgrounds, different ethnic groups. And we were all in the president's palace discussing and debating. This is the first time in the century of the dictatorship of Syria, 50 years of dictatorship, we never had a debate. We never talked together. So being there in the president's palace, debating and discussing, this is another revolution.
The new regime has promised that it'll take everyone along and that it'll be a secular and inclusive regime. But we have seen reports and videos coming in of violence with government-aligned fighters, for lack of any other word, massacring Alawites in Syria. What do you see as the problem right now? Are these the remnants of the civil war still burning?
First of all, I call them government because they're there now. And I'm not the spokeswoman of the government. I'm going to speak very independent. What did I see? I was last week in the coast. I came to Damascus the day before to Delhi. I was before in the coast. And I did talk with so many Alawites and others. The problem is, today, many people, they don't want to see Syria stable. What happened from the beginning, when the revolutionary came and took over Syria, liberated Syria, they did kind of reconciliations. They say, okay, we forgive you, let's start talking, and we're not going to have any revenge or anything. So this was their strategy. And many individual incidents happened, like maybe we cannot call them Alawite, it is like more the pro-regime, trying to make some kind of chaos in the coast. But then, in the day of the problems, there is kind of coup d'etat. There is some pro-regime wants to take over the coast. And we all know that there is some other international community, international country, they're behind this. And we can talk about it. If you want to ask me, yes, I'm not sure about the policy of the TV. But there is some people, they wanted this to start. The problem is, yes, it started. And the other problem is, there is the reaction from the other side was very harsh. Because of, don't forget, there is a lack of transitional justice. People thought that, the old regime is coming back. They're the one that killed my families. So they went without even thinking, went to the coast and start this revenge. But when we talk about, yes, there is some people, they start killing, but let's talk about the other Muslim Sunnis who didn't want this to happen, and they brought many people to their homes and trying to stop. Many others, they don't know. Many of the Alawites today, they were oppositions before. They were against Assad. They were in prison for a long time. They got killed too. So there is kind of chaos in these 3 days, and this was a big problem. But saying this, we need to think about the best. The government immediately decided to have a commission for inquiry to start investigating. They want to have a committee for peace building and saying like we cannot continue like this, and they appointed another Alawite to do this with other two Sunnis. So yes, replying to your question, it happened for reasons, but we have to fix it and we have to move forward.
Just to be clear, are you saying that there are certain factions, perhaps foreign powers, who are trying to bring down the current government in
Yes,
Syria?
exactly.
Who are you talking about?
Iran.
Iran.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too. But Iran is the number one because the Iranian, they want to get back to their ambition to have the Shiite crescent. And the Russian, don't forget, it is in the coast, it's in Banyas and Tartus, in the coast there in Latakia, and they want to get back to their port in the coast so they can have their influence back.
The current leadership in Syria, Mr. al-Shara, his past is a bit sketchy to say the least, and there is concern in some parts of the world, including here in India, that a man who was formerly associated with the Al-Qaeda, how much can he reform? From what you have seen, are you satisfied with the progress that he's made from those days associated with the ISIS to now?
First of all, he never been associated with ISIS. Actually, they had a big fight with ISIS. He was associated with Al-Nusra, Al-Qaeda. You're right. But listen, now we have to be pragmatic and we have to talk politics here. Politics is about, what happened now? He took over Syria. He liberated Syria from a long-term dictatorship for 50 years, 14 years of Assad regime. Bashar al-Assad has been killing the Syrian people. So he took over. Now, pragmatically, we have to think about what is our options. Number one scenario, they're Qaeda al-Nusra, we have nothing to do, let's go back, leave Syria for him. Number two, let's watch and see and feel what's going on. Or three, it's not his country, it's our country. And we are not going to leave it for him. And the more we are there, around, trying to influence things, it's going to be better. He knows that if he's going to be Al-Qaeda or a radical, he won't have a future in Syria. Because Syrian people, you know very much, we're like India. We got minorities, we got ethnic groups, we got religions. And if he's not going to be accommodated with this, it's not Idlib. It's not Idlib. Idlib, we can have one color. This is not one color. Syria is about Alawite, Christian. We got 17 religions. We got ethnic group. So if he's not going to get better, he won't have a future.
Okay. Just a final word on the ousted leader, Mr. Bashar al-Assad. He's in Russia right now. There is a chorus to bring him back to Syria and make him face justice for what he's done. Do you think that's a possibility, or do you think that's a done deal now?
First of all, Bashar al-Assad, for us, he's a war criminal. And definitely, for the Syrian people, will be comfort for them. And this will decrease the kind of, and the level of revenge. Many people, they feel like he's the one behind the killing of our children. We want them to see him in trial. Also, let's go back politics. This is Russia. Do you think Russia will give them back to us? No. Russia now, very interested about the money he took. It's there. He gets all the money of Syria in Russia. They see in the end, we know very well, it was like a deal anyway, because he's not useful anymore. But to give it us, Bashar al-Assad, I don't think so. But maybe at least the money we can get back. And then if we don't get Bashar al-Assad, at least get us the others who are behind all those crimes and behind all this, the butchering and for the Syrian people. So we need to get a real trials. We need to have a real justice if we want to continue in Syria to have a better life for others without revenge, without sectarianism, without civil wars.
We certainly hope that the Syrian people do find the peace, the justice that they deserve and they've been looking for the last decade. Thank you so much for speaking to Firstpost, ma'am.
Thank you, because we learn also a lot from you. Look at your country. different religion, different ethnics, and there is a peace. So we need also to get the non-violent ethics of Gandhi's into our country, and this is very important.
Thank you.
Firstpost brings you the Ideas Pod at the Raisina Dialogue 2025, the largest gathering of global policymakers, thought leaders, and innovators, now on the fastest growing international news platform. Big ideas, big debates, big impact. Only at the Ideas Pod. Firstpost gives you front row access to the conversations that matter most. The Ideas Pod. Raisina Dialogue 2025 on Firstpost.
Do you think that Ukraine is at its weakest position?
This war is not about Ukraine.
Do you believe that your president was insulted? Yes or no question. Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.
Diplomacy will work?
Yes,
Do you
it
think
will.
Russia will give up the territory if there is no ceasefire? Do you propose to keep fighting?
We are ready to resist.
Do you think there will be peace?
Many countries gave us 3 days.
President Trump said you don't have any cards.
We do not have another choice.
How do you keep fighting?
You ask me once again the same question.
Because you've not answered my question.
We have enough capacities to keep fighting.